Hello, everyone. I am back home now. Feels good to be home, I will say that. I was discharged about 3 o'clock this afternoon, I guess it was. I'll just kind of catch you up where I left off last time. I kept my IV through the night and was getting my IV pain medicine that I was pushing through the night, and that controlled my pain very well. I didn't have any pain at all with that. And then they came in fairly early in the morning and they took out my catheter, and then they discontinued the IV fluids. And so the IV pain medication went with that. And so at that point in time, they gave me some Percocet, and I was fine for quite a while, and I would say probably about I guess close to 4 hours after they had turned off the IV fluids and after I'd taken that first Percocet, I kind of started having really my first substantial pain, and honestly, at the time, looking back now, I don't know if it was really pain from the surgery or more gas pain, because I had quite a bit of gas pain. And when I've got these abdominal incisions, it's kind of hard to tell between the two. I know I was definitely having gas pains, but yet, I mean, I think I was having some abdominal pain just from the surgery as well. So I think it was kind of both of them at the same time. And I mean, my pain level really never got above like a 5 or a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. But it was a little uncomfortable there for a while, and so initially the nurse was concerned that my pain had been so well controlled on the IV that making the transition to pills, it was gonna be maybe too much of a jolt there to where the pills weren't gonna cover it. I had only taken one Percocet when they gave me that first thing in the morning, and so she gave me two. The second time, I think I took them around 11 ish, somewhere in there, and that helped me. That helped me considerably. Plus, I got up and was walking the halls a couple of times. Felt like a total idiot out there in my gown, and there's, I mean, the unit where I was also a labor and delivery and newborn and basically everything women. And so there were a lot of people there for people that were having babies and stuff. I mean, they have a lot of guests and visitors and things. And so here I am strolling around. I think I probably look like a mental patient instead of somebody that should be on a OBGYN unit. But whatever, you know. I walked over to see the babies, and there was both times that I walked by, there was only one in the nursery, and they were like far away from the glass, so I couldn't really see them too well. But I was hoping to see a lot of little babies, but that's okay. Let's see. So, yeah, they took my catheter and my IV out. I had just been absolutely chugging the fluids, so I didn't have any trouble peeing for the first time. Really no problem with that at all. The first time I did get up to go to the bathroom, I definitely felt better than I did last night, because last night when they had me get up for the first time and just sit in the chair, I was really weak and really unsteady and dizzy, and so I definitely felt a whole lot better today, but it just still took me a few times of really getting up and just kind of getting used to it. And even still now at home, you know, I don't feel like I can just jump right out of bed and run off. You know, I'm still moving pretty slow, but I definitely feel better. Let's see. They've been having me do this. It's called an incentive spirometer, and this is to prevent pneumonia after surgery. And so it's a breathing thing. I have to suck the air in and make that little blue thing go up to my goal there, which is 2,500. And so I was supposed to be doing that. I think it was like 6 times an hour when I was in the hospital, and then given like a good productive cough uh, as well. And I mean, I've definitely hacked up a couple of really nasty things today. So I can see the importance of doing that after surgery, and why it's important to get those lungs moving and everything, because your body basically is just completely shut down when you're in surgery, and so you've just got to activate all parts of it again afterwards. So I've been doing that. It feels good to take the deep breaths. Had, like I say, I've had a little bit of mucus, and even like blowing my nose, a lot of stuff out of there too. Not to be disgusting, but surgery is a little disgusting. Also been having I started having a lot of gas, and I had been taking, since surgery, I had taken just some stool softeners and some herbal cleansers. I hadn't taken any hardcore laxatives. And so I was starting to get concerned that maybe I was going to have to take something else. Having a lot of, not a ton of gas pain, but was definitely starting to pass a lot of gas. And then when I got home, I pooped on my own. So everything's working good in that department. So I didn't have to go with anything heavy duty. I didn't have to do any laxatives or anything. But I'm still gonna take the stool softeners and the herbal cleansers as long as I'm on the Percocet, because that's very constipating. And of course, I'll still be continuing to chug the fluids. Let's see. When the doctor came in today, before she discharged me, she brought pictures of the surgery, and so that was kind of exciting. She showed me on my left side, my left ovary. You could see the ovary, and then there was a gigantic cyst that was every bit as big, if not bigger, than the ovary on top of that. So that's all gone. She took all that out. And then my uterus, it's normally about the size of a pear. And mine, she said, your uterus literally took up the whole screen of trying to take a picture of it. So I would say probably like the size of a cantaloupe. Kind of hard to tell exactly, but yeah, it was definitely enlarged as well, which makes sense because I would think month after month, how in the world am I bleeding this much? I'm bleeding way more than what can fit into a pear or a fist-sized organ. So now I know that my uterus was considerably enlarged. So that's all gone. So I mean, I literally feel like I've lost several pounds just from all that. I've got 4 incisions. One of them is in my belly button, and then the other 3 are just kind of around. Each incision is probably about an inch long, and they don't seem deep at all. They're not sutured or anything. They're scabbed over, and then it looks like that new skin stuff that you can just buy at the drugstore. I think that's like what is on top of it, because it's just, there's something that's kind of protecting it on there. But I mean, they're completely closed up, and she looked at the incisions today and said they looked perfect. And then she also showed me in the pictures. Then I talked last night about how when she removed the cervix, then she sutured up the back of the vagina, and so she actually showed me on pictures. Then you could see then where that spot was then that she sutured up. And so I've been having a little bit of spotting, and she said that that's totally normal, because when she sutures that up, she doesn't want to suture it so tight that it necroses or kills off that area. You got to keep the blood flow going and keep that tissue healthy. And so spotting is normal because of that, just because it's not sutured real tightly. Um, let's see what else. already had my prescriptions that I talked about that I had at home waiting for me. So I can take one Percocet every 4 hours as needed. And so far, I've been taking one about every 4 hours because I kind of start getting sore and tender. They definitely make you feel good and make you drowsy, and so it's kind of a fun pill to be on. I also have 800 milligrams of ibuprofen that I can take, and it says on the bottle, it says for cramping. Um, I really, I really haven't had any cramping that I would say. Maybe a tiny bit like yesterday when I was still in the hospital, but I definitely none today. And so I take one of those. I can have one of those every 8 hours as needed, and then I've got an estrogen patch on my back, and that lasts for, I think she said 2 days or something, and then I'll take that off, and then I've got my estrogen pills that I'm going to start on since my ovaries are gone. And really, the only thing that I've noticed, because they didn't put the patch on me until this afternoon, actually. So I have been really hot. So, you know, maybe I guess I'm having some hot flashes, but other than that, I mean, I haven't noticed any kind of changes with my moods or hormones or anything like that. I've felt good. Um, let's see. I'm not supposed to drive for 2 weeks, and I'm not supposed to lift over 10 pounds for the first 2 weeks. And I don't think I'll have any problems following those orders. So I go back to see the doctor in 2 weeks, just to kind of see how I'm doing. So I probably won't do another video until then because I feel really, really good. I do. I don't think that this could have gone any better. It was just a real positive experience. Everybody, all the staff from the pre-op all the way to wheeling me out the door this afternoon, everybody was so nice and friendly and helpful, and just it was just a very good positive experience. I'm so glad I did it. Um, yeah, like I say, I already feel like I just dumped off a bunch of weight that I didn't need anymore. So that's a good feeling. Um, I think that's all I have to say about things. But yeah, I'm glad it's over. um, it couldn't have gone smoother. It really couldn't have. It was just a real positive experience. And so any woman out there that's faced with this decision, I mean, it's so worth it. Just because to know that I'm never going to have another period again. I mean, it's wonderful just to know that all of that stuff, all of those body parts that were causing me so much trouble, they're gone. They're gone, and I'm never going to have to deal with them again. So, yeah, very minimal pain, very, no nausea, no, I mean, I think I went through this just as well as I possibly could have, as well as anyone possibly could have. So, really good experience. So I will check in then in a couple of weeks when I have my first post-op checkup and see how I'm doing then.